Roman Abramovich is committed to signing Erling Haaland. He's not looking at any other striker alternatives. Haaland is on his mind 24/7. Chelsea are imminent to produce a bid in the next 24 to 48 hours this week, especially. Massive news. It all broke out last night. So much news in regards to Erling Haaland in terms of updates. We'll be speaking about Declan Rice and Tchouaméni. Of course, there was a Twitch live stream by Fabrizio Romano. We'll be breaking down Janaga Fruitov's new message and tweet, cryptic tweets, of course, giving you guys all the latest news and information. But before I do get into all of it, make sure you smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. And without further ado, let's get straight into this news story. And starting off with the latest news, Erling Haaland. Now, according to various German publications, now, one thing I have to say is because it all broke out last night by pretty much every single reliable German publication, newsletter, journalist, whether that's Christian Falk, whether that's Romano, Janaga Fruitov, Berger as well, these reliable tier 1 German journalists, even if it's kind of regurgitated compared to what we heard yesterday, it means something has happened. Something has happened behind the scenes. There has to be some sort of breakthrough that we don't know. We know Chelsea and Roman, they operate in silence. We operate in a discreet level. We understand this. But something happened in terms of a breakthrough, because while we're receiving so much news, and when I mean so much news, genuinely so much news. And starting off with Sports Bild, the German publication, Roman Abramovich has now released the funds to show his immediate commitment to sign Erling Haaland this summer. Now, Berger, who is a German journalist, he's actually tier 1. He's stating that Erling Haaland could actually imagine himself playing for Chelsea in the future. The Blues are yet to make an official bid. Borussia Dortmund will sell for 175 million euros if the offer comes in. Now, remember, that is euros, so if you translate that into pound sterling, that is 150 million pounds. Now, Christian Falk as well added that Borussia Dortmund remain firm on their stance, but they won't sell Erling Haaland to Chelsea this summer. Now, one thing I will mention on that is, I've heard a lot of that Dortmund are adamant. Dortmund are reluctant to sell. They're not going to be selling. Every single top tier journalist as well, like Christian Falk, has commented and said they don't see this still happening. One thing you need to understand, especially in football and even in terms of the world, in every single component aspect, is money always talks. Everything has a price, whether that's a player, whether that's an asset, whether that's an item. Yes, you may have to pay over the odds, but everything has a price at the end of the day. Dortmund can sit there and say he's not for sale. They can say it as much as they like. But if Roman came along and said, here's 150, they're not saying no. It's as simple as that. And this is what I mean. This is what I allude to when I say every single item, asset, value, player has a value. It has a price. At the end of the day, yes, you may have to pay over the odds, because if you do put 150, you are paying more than double what he's worth next summer, because of course of that release clause that kicks in the summer of 2022. But the point I'm making here is everything has a value. Everything has a price. So don't be disheartened by these rumours stating that, Dortmund are not going to be selling. Why aren't Chelsea moving on? It's all about testing the waters. We're still negotiating. We're really going to be seeing, how adamant are Dortmund? How reluctant are they? We're really testing their buttons. We're pushing it. And that's what you've got to do. Marina's doing her thing. Roman's doing their thing. The hierarchy doing their thing. You just got to let them do it. And all I'm going to say to you guys is patience. Just be patient. As I said yesterday, with a deal like this, when it contains multi-millions, you have to be patient with these type of things. So for me, I'm going to be patient. I've always remained optimistic. That's the stance I've taken. I'm still going to be optimistic. There's no reason to be pessimistic about this deal, because everything is pointing in the right direction. Now, is that me saying this deal is done? Of course it's not. This deal could still fall through. We could not end up signing Haaland. Who knows? However, things are looking good, and it is flowing in Chelsea's favour. So let's just wait and see what happens. And of course, moving on, Fabrizio Romano, in his quotes, confirmed on his Twitch, he said that I am aware that Janaga Fruitov broke the news about Chelsea preparing a big bid for Erling Haaland tomorrow or Wednesday on my live stream. I will have him as a guest for Erling Haaland special for Chelsea. Now, as I record this video, it is a Tuesday. So either tonight or tomorrow, he will bring Janaga Fruitov on his live stream. And of course, I will be updating you on whatever happens on that Twitch live stream, because that is the big news. And that's either going to be tonight, or that's going to be tomorrow, or potentially Thursday. Whenever that is, make sure you hit the bell notification, because I'm going to be disclosing everything that is said in terms of all the summary, essentially, of the details, which is going to be key, because that's going to indicate if we are serious about Haaland. So make sure you hit the bell notification and subscribe. And of course, that is interesting news. Going furthermore, of course, we know Roman Abramovich will not be looking at any other striker alternatives. He's very, very serious about this transfer. He's ready to release all the millions to Dortmund, even though Dortmund keeps saying no. And that is, of course, written by Sports Bild. And that's what I'm saying. When Roman is serious, he gets what he wants. As I keep stressing, if Roman puts 150 on the table, the deal's going to get wrapped up in 2 seconds. But of course, Chelsea are going to try and save 10 to 15 million here and there in terms of agent fees, wages, or, you know, the transfer fee in general. But Roman's got the funds. He will release it if need be. And so, as I keep saying, patience is needed. And we are so privileged as Chelsea fans. We are so lucky that we have an owner that actually cares. We have an owner that reinvests into the squad. We have an owner that is serious about this football club. He wants Chelsea to be the creme de la creme, the elite of the elite. And that's the level and direction that we're aiming and striving to become. We are trying to become the next Real Madrid, Barcelona. You know, people say Chelsea have no history, but we are creating history right now by winning all these trophies, winning all these accolades, accumulating all the silverware. We are creating a dynasty right now, the Roman era, and of course, we have to keep going and signing the best number 9 in world football alongside Harry Kane Lewandowski, who is also only 20 years old as a generational talent. That goes a long way to building your massive dynasty. And we're champions of Europe. We've got all the pool power in the world. We've got one of the best tacticians, world-class managers in the world. And of course, we've got one of the best squads. So we are moving in that direction. So we are so privileged. And again, as I said, patience with this Haaland deal. Patience. But let's move on to some other news. Of course, Fabrizio on his live Twitch stream spoke about Tuchemani and of course Declan Rice. Now Declan Rice is on Tuchel's list. We've known that for a long time. That's not anything new. However, it's now time for Chelsea to decide whether they will make a bid for the midfielder. Now, according to Romano and various other Tier 1 Chelsea journalists such as your Matt Laws, etc., have already confirmed that the Thomas Tuchel actually quite likes Declan Rice and that Declan Rice is number 1. I'm not 100% sure on that. From what I know, I don't believe Declan Rice is Tuchel's first choice. I know for a fact the club, the actual hierarchy, do quite like Declan Rice, but I'm not 100% sure if Tuchel wants Declan Rice as a first choice. I've been hearing Kamara from Marseille, that defensive midfielder, Boubacar Kamara, the 21-year-old DM/centre-back from Marseille. He's the one Tuchel really wants. He's a really cheap option, but in terms of characteristics and attributes, he's the guy that Tuchel really wants. But Tuchel's not saying no to Declan Rice, it's just not first choice, if you know what I mean. So according to Fabrizio, he is first choice. Let's wait and see. The main question is, are we going to sign Declan Rice? Now, my personal opinion, I don't see this happening. And not because I don't want Declan Rice. That is true. I don't want Declan Rice. I'll give you guys my reasonings. But I don't see Chelsea spending 150 on Haaland and then signing Declan Rice for 70 million. I just don't think Chelsea really have the funds. Now, I'm not saying we don't have the funds. We do have the funds. But we have to remember, we have to remain within the FFP regulations. So if you're spending £220 million, you have to be selling a lot of players. And at the moment, there's no indication that we are going to be sending a lot of players. Now, are there going to be outgoings? Yes, of course they're going to be outgoings. But are we going to ship half the squad? I don't see that happening. I don't see that being realistic whatsoever. And of course, Tuchemani is the cheaper option, £40 million. But Kamara is the one that Tuchel really wants. Tuchemani has been scouted and it's really appreciated, but no updates yet. That has been confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. So let's wait and see what happens. As I said, Julian Laurent has already confirmed that Chelsea do go ahead and splash 150 on Haaland. That is going to eat the majority of our transfer budget up, which makes a lot of sense because it's not just a transfer fee. You've got to be paying for his wages. You have to be paying, extortionate agent fees to Mineral and of course his father, Alfie Haaland. So it makes a lot of sense. So I guess, I don't see Declan Rice happening this summer. If it is going to happen, maybe potentially next summer or the summer after, but I don't see it being this summer. I think that Kamara is the one to watch out for. Cheap option. Tuchel admires him. He's desperate for him. Very, very technical. Kamara is actually my first choice, actually. So let's wait and see. Keep your eyes peeled on that one, of course. And moving on to some other news, of course, on the Twitch, he spoke about Romelu Lukaku. Of course, we know Lukaku was a plan B. He said in his words, Romelu Lukaku is staying at Inter Milan. He said, I don't know why there's so many questions about Romelu Lukaku leaving, because he's simply staying. So for me, anyone asks about Lukaku, squash those rumours. Lukaku is 100% staying at Inter Milan. So we can now forget about Lukaku. And now it really is a case of it's Haaland or it's bust. It's actually Haaland or it's bust. So this is why it gives me a bit more optimism. Because when you don't have a plan B, plan A, you're a lot more desperate for plan A to work. So again, squash those Lukaku rumours. It's Haaland or it's bust. Now, the final news on the Twitch that Fabrizio spoke about is Jorginho. Now, Chelsea want Jorginho to stay and they will open talks in the coming months about extending his deal. Now, I spoke to you guys a few days ago confirming that Jorginho is close to signing a new extension, a brand new deal for Chelsea, believed to be about 2 to 3 year contract extension on top of his current deal. Fantastic news. Now, if you cast your minds back to a year ago, Jorginho was close to leaving. He was close to going to Arsenal on loan because he wasn't in Lampard's plans. But Tuchel admires him. Tuchel respects him, he appreciates him. Jorginho is crucial to Tuchel's system in terms of what he brings. He's a world-class player. He is my favourite player, I'll be honest. Jorginho is my favourite player, so I do have some bias towards Jorginho, but he really does fit Tuchel's system. Tuchel loves him. The hierarchy love and respect Jorginho. Jorginho's given everything to Chelsea in terms of his mentality, his quality, his skill, and what he's produced. And if he wins the Super Cup, Jorginho would have won every single European trophy possible in the space of 3 years. Put some respect on the Italian. Sublime stuff, and it's fantastic news. Music to my ears that Jorginho is close to extending his current contract. Let's wait and see what happens. But that is me wrapping up the News Daily. If you did enjoy, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.